This is a gesture science says is impossible. A wild lioness, the queen of the savannah, bowing her head to a human. This is not a story of training. It is not a story of dominance. It is the story of a thank you for a silent promise made to a mother when her world had been washed away. To understand how this moment came to be, we must go back to the heart of the storm. Just 1 week before, this very land, it was a paradise, a sanctuary. Anna had known Zola for 5 long years. She had watched her, documented her journey, from a bold, reckless young hunter into the wise and powerful matriarch of a small, proud pride. Zola was different. Always so intelligent, so perceptive. Anna had watched the birth of her first litter with the quiet joy of a distant relative. 3 perfect, tiny souls. The future of the pride, the very symbol of life's persistence, in this wild, beautiful heart of Africa. But the Delta, it is a place of brutal, sudden contrasts. The flood, it came without warning, not like rain, but like a liquid wall, a moving mountain of mud and roots and fury, unleashed by storms hundreds of miles upstream. In just a few hours, the familiar sun-drenched plains became a treacherous, swirling maze. Anna and her team, they worked tirelessly. But nature's power, it was absolute, unstoppable. When the waters finally began to recede, a devastating silence fell over the Delta. A quiet so loud, it hurt the ears. And Zola's pride, her family, was gone. Her cubs simply vanished. The search, it was grueling, heartbreaking. Every step was a battle. The mud, thick and greedy, tried to pull her down. For 2 days, Anna scanned the endless horizon from her helicopter and trekked through the suffocating sludge, calling, listening, hoping. She found tracks that ended abruptly at the water's edge. And then, she saw it. A small, sodden clump of fur, caught on a thorn branch. It was nothing, a tiny, insignificant thing, and yet, it was everything. The final crushing proof. On the 3rd day, she found Zola. The magnificent lioness was a ghost, a shadow of her former self. Her golden coat, matted with filth. Her powerful body trembled with exhaustion, and with a grief so profound, it seemed to shake the very ground. She didn't even acknowledge Anna's presence. She just lay there, staring at the vast brown expanse of water that had stolen her children, letting out a low guttural moan, a sound that came from the deepest part of her soul. It was in that moment, watching that deep, silent agony, Anna made a choice, a promise. She couldn't bring back the cubs. No, that tragedy was written, but she refused, absolutely refused, to let the mother die of a broken heart. She would not let the flood claim another victim. Not this one, not Zola. And so, a strange silent ritual began. Every single morning, without fail, as the sun painted the recovering plains in hues of orange and pink, Anna would come. She never tried to get close, never. She never forced an interaction. That would be a violation. She would simply leave a gift, fresh water, and food. And then she would retreat to a respectful distance and wait. She offered not just sustenance for the body, but company for the soul. A silent, constant promise that Zola was not alone in her grief. For weeks, the lioness barely moved. But Anna, she was patient as the ancient trees around them. She spoke to her in a calm, gentle voice, telling her stories of the Delta, of the sun, of life. Slowly, so slowly you could almost miss it, a change began. A twitch of an ear. Then, a week later, a slow turn of her head. One day, Zola drank the water. A week after that, she ate the food. And then, she started to lift her head when Anna arrived, watching her, with those intelligent amber eyes. The profound despair, it was giving way to a quiet, fragile acceptance. A bond forged in silence, and sorrow was forming between the human and the wild, grieving mother. Months passed, the Delta healed, and so did Zola. With Anna's unwavering silent support, her strength returned. The fire in her eyes, it was back. She began to patrol her territory again. Her powerful roar once more echoed across the plains at dusk, a declaration. I am still here. I have survived. Anna's visits became less frequent, giving Zola the space she needed to reclaim her life. She was content, knowing the lioness had made it through the darkness. Then, one afternoon, a call came over the radio, a static-filled voice from another patrol. A sighting, near Zola's territory. A new male lion had been seen with her. And then, the news that made Anna's heart stop, and then soar. Zola was a mother again. Against all odds, against all the pain, she had found the strength to create a new family. Anna had to see for herself. She returned to their special place, her heart pounding with a mix of hope and anxiety. She waited, not knowing what to expect. And then, she appeared, Zola, emerging from the tall grass like a queen, returning to her court. But she was not alone. Tucked carefully behind her were two small curious cubs, blinking in the bright sunlight. Zola walked directly towards Anna, her steps deliberate, calm. She stopped just a few feet away, close enough for Anna to see the deep, ancient wisdom in her eyes. And then, something extraordinary happened. Something impossible. The great lioness, the powerful predator, the grieving mother, slowly, deliberately, lowered her head, a bow, profound, silent, an impossible gesture of thanks. Anna froze. Tears, silent and hot, began to well in her eyes. For a breathtaking moment, the world stood still. And then, as if on a silent, sacred command, the two little cubs mirrored their mother. Clumsily, imperfectly, they lowered their tiny heads in unison. A lesson in gratitude, passed from one generation to the next. In the wild heart of Africa, a debt of kindness had been repaid in a language older than words, a language of trust. Anna knew she had witnessed a miracle, not just of survival, but of connection, a bond born of shared loss and quiet, unwavering compassion. It's a powerful reminder that empathy has no species, and that even after the darkest storm, the sun will always, always rise again. Thank you for watching. What did this story make you feel? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one, and for more incredible stories from the wild, stories that touch the soul, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.